Hello, and welcome to this third edition of Your Schools. This program features the high-achieving schools that are part of the East Granby community. Today's show will feature one of our school principals, Mrs. Sherry Burke. She is the principal of R.D. Seymour School that houses grades 3, 4, and 5. And so this evening we will spend some time speaking with Mrs. Burke, and she will share with us important information and wonderful accomplishments at R.D. Seymour School. Hello, Sherry.
Hi.
And welcome to Your Schools.
Thank you.
For this first part of our segment, I just want to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself. I know who you are, but for our viewing audience,
Sure.
tell us a little bit about yourself and about the things that are important to you and important to you professionally as well.
Well, as many may or may not know, I'm also a community member in East Granby, so this is wonderful for me to have the opportunity to highlight the things that we're so very proud of at Seymour School, but also at the same time be a part of this wonderful community of East Granby. So I'm a mom and a member of the community, as well as the principal at R.D. Seymour School. So we're busy all the time.
A great trio.
And something that I'm just exceptionally proud of is that at Seymour School we have realized our vision of really creating a very inviting and welcoming little school. We have just over 200 students in grades 3, 4, and 5, as you are well aware. And when you walk through the doors of our newly renovated school, you instantly feel happy to be there. We hear comments all the time from visitors about how inviting and warm and welcoming it is.
It is bright and colorful and yes, very inviting.
We have beautiful new skylights and displays of children's artwork that Carol Garth, our art teacher, put up with my assistants this summer. So it's just a very student-centered approach, and families know that they are welcome there.
Awesome. So Sherry, tell us, in what ways do your vision and your goals align with the district goals? And perhaps you can share with us a little bit from your school improvement plan, just to give us a sense of some of the things that you've done to make sure that you'll achieve your objectives.
Well, one of the district goals, as you know, and as our viewers may be aware because we are talking about it quite frequently, is to really continue with our long-standing tradition of high academic excellence. Particularly right now, we're focused in the area of reading. Our Board of Education sees that as an important element of, a well-rounded, graduate. Can't do anything without high achievement in the area of reading and language arts. So at both Seymour School and Allgrove School, we have become Teachers College reading and writing schools, and we are exceptionally proud of that. I think it's really a mark of excellence that we've been able to achieve in a very short amount of time. And for those at home that may not be aware of what that means, Teachers College is out of Columbia University, and it is really an exemplary program for reading and writing practices for children in the 21st century. So this provides our children with authentic reading experiences, with real books and real literature, doing the work that real authors and readers do. And we feel that this is a perfect alignment with what not only our Board of Education, our district goals, but also across the nation and the world. We recognize that to be high-achieving academic students, we must really employ those advanced reading skills. So that's in a nutshell. I could talk all night just about that. But I also think another way that Seymour School's school improvement plan really is a wonderful marriage with the district's philosophy is around our way of communication. And so earlier when I was speaking about our warm and welcoming and sort of, collaborative approach to things, I think that really starts with a concerted effort around positive communication, frequent communication. The board has that as one of their goals this year. You always have that as a goal for us as administrators. And over the last couple of years, my staff has really embraced this with some innovative ways of communicating. So we use the Ed line, and we use our ability to email out through the Ed line. But we've also tried out some less traditional approaches. I have a couple of classrooms on Twitter, and making similarly to a pen pal experience that I remember doing when I was in school. Now they have this global experience where they can tweet and communicate with classrooms around the world. That's been an amazing way, to communicate. So then, similarly, we have parents who are noticing that and following along and able to see what their children are learning. We also are using an app called Remind 101, and it's a really dynamic and new way that teachers can send out secure messages. They only are viewed by the parents, but they allow for a teacher to send out a photograph of your child doing some amazing science project or artwork with a very quick little text message. So we've gotten a very positive response to that. Parents are really loving it.
Good.
Yeah.
And the goal of increasing our communication throughout the district is one of the reasons that we are doing this
Right.
program. We have used paper and pen and ink to communicate, and we've been using our Ed line, and we've been using School Messenger and putting things on our websites, and here we are now presenting our schools and ourselves and our school community through television. So we're just continuing to expand the ways that we communicate, and thank you and your teachers at Seymour School for really pushing on that particular goal. I know you've talked about some programs that are pretty unique to your school, but are there other programs going on at Seymour School that you're particularly proud of and that you want to share with our community?
Absolutely. I think a few of the programs that would be of interest that maybe are little hidden gems, at our school that not everyone in the community, may be aware of. So first, I want to make sure that everyone in our community recognizes that student leadership is a long-standing tradition at Seymour School. And we have a student council that is quite active. And many schools can say they have a student council, but I don't quite think they're as special as mine.
So you have every right to say that.
Really proud. Because what's different, or what sets our group of students apart, is that they do the theme days and the crazy hat days and the fun school spirit kinds of things, which are essential to building that positive climate. They also, though, take on a strong connection to the world around them. And so through the Student Council, we do many different types of celebrations or recognitions that I think really are worthwhile and important learning opportunities. In concert with the Student Council as leadership, we also look for unique ways to celebrate holidays or days of observance in order to really capitalize on the learning behind such a day. So for example, Veterans Day was just this past week, and our students across the school invited in a family member, a neighbor, aunt, uncle, grandparent, whomever they might have a special connection with, to come into their classroom and speak to their peers around their experience of being a veteran. And what has amazed me each year that we've done this is that the students have such thoughtful questions. And they're able to connect with individuals who have served our country, individuals who are of a different generation, And there's a genuine respect and understanding for what the meaning is behind holidays such as Veterans Day. We do something similar in Flag Day, but that's a celebratory. We celebrate them in that occasion with our phenomenal chorus of students, singing. We have a school-wide chorus program for grades 3, 4, and 5, and we highlight their skills as often as we can. We also have a 5th grade band, beginning band, and they put on 2 concerts, one in the winter, which is coming up in January, and one in the spring, and they're held, as you know, at the East Granby High School. And I am always amazed by the just phenomenal performances that our young children are able to put on. We've really have a top-notch music program that I'm quite proud of.
Awesome.
In addition to that, I'll just highlight a couple other things that I think are a bit unique. We have a career day. And career day for children that are 8, 9, and 10 years old is unique. And we fully recognize that they're too little to really choose a career. But we're looking at it in the opportunity, providing an opportunity for them to just know all that's out there. And a big focus of the Common Core is to help kids be college and career ready. And we think a part of that at a young age is just through exploration and realizing what's out there. And also realizing what sorts of skills that I'm doing every day as a 3rd grader connect that future career that I may want to do. So we had, I think, about 30 people from our community come in and talk with children.
That's wonderful.
It was fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
Now you also have Junior Achievement.
We
that
do.
Also does
We
something
do.
similar. You wanna-
Yeah, we also do Junior Achievements, and Junior Achievements is a fantastic program that has been around for many, many years. I'm sure that it's familiar to our viewers. We do something called JA in a Day, and so it's a one-day curriculum, really full of wonderful hands-on learning experiences that help children better understand from a real-world angle, economics and political decision making and town planning and all of that. And we do this in collaboration with Roxfestos. They bring in their employees for a day, and as you know, we have a fantastic relationship with them. And this
Yes,
is
we
one
do.
of the days where we open our doors to volunteers in the community, and they actually teach the lessons. So it's a really wonderful day.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of seeing it a few times. So you started to talk about, early exploration of careers and students looking at the skills that they have and what skills they may need. So what skills or dispositions are essential for learners in the 21st century, and how are the Seymour students developing these skills?
Well, classrooms have changed drastically in recent years. And this is, I believe, a direct result of how our economy is changing, how our ways of communicating with each other are changing. And so in order for us to prepare students for the 21st century, as we're embarking on those challenges, we really need students to be very critical thinkers and problem solvers. I would put that first on the list. So gone are the days of rote memorization because children have devices or other means of gathering that information very quickly. So we still think that there's a certain piece there that's important, but we want children to have a way of taking in this intense amount of information and being careful, critical thinkers about that information that they're receiving really all day long, every day. And so we are working with a very conscious effort around ways to help children problem solve within the context of their learning. Also doing that in a collaborative way, because we know that in the workplace we must work collaboratively. So small groups learning together, children having independence and the ability to be curious. Curiosity is a theme at Seymour School this year, really encouraging children to be inquisitive about the world around them and then do something with that curiosity, research and contemplate and grapple and talk with your peers about it. So I think that collaboration and that critical thinking in concert with a huge focus on technology, and really thinking carefully about how we immerse children in the world of technology for the purposes of education.
Okay. So tell me, how has the technology impacted teaching and learning in your school?
You know, I believe strongly that no longer do we have a choice about do we or don't we put technology in the hands of kids. They're coming to us technology savvy. They're coming to us really demanding this style of learning and viewing the world. And so when we renovated Seymour School and when we built Seymour, we had the opportunity to really look carefully at a learning environment for the 21st century. And there was careful planning, as you are well aware, into each instructional space. And so every space in the school is equipped with a smart board, a document camera, which allows us to project, up onto the screen for all to view books or other articles and photographs and things of interest. We also are using iPads, in the school, so I have school photographers, and one of their privileges is that they have the opportunity to use the iPads to take photographs or make videos and document the happenings around the school. So technology is everywhere. We have, I think, more than tripled our resources in the way of Chromebooks and laptops and desktop PCs, so children have choices, and this isn't something that's a matter of extra. This is embedded and a part of our curriculum. As many people are likely aware, we have transitioned to a completely online assessment called the Smarter Balanced Assessment. This year we will give that assessment in the springtime to all of the students at Seymour School, because grades 3, 4, and 5 are tested.
Right, testing.
And so this being a completely online assessment, not only are the children needing to be able to use the technology, they need to use the technology to convey their understanding of the core concepts. And so to me, that's something very unique that we really want to be cognizant of. And we have a responsibility to teach our students not only to utilize the technology, but to make it such a part of their practice that they can then convey their depth of understanding and depth of knowledge and content area by utilizing the technology itself.
It will be great to see your fifth graders move up to the middle school to grade 6 and be so proficient
Absolutely.
in the use and the application of the technology. So that's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
What quality of your school are you most proud of?
Yeah, that's a very hard question. I'm so proud of all of it. It's like asking you to choose your favorite child, I'm proud of it all. I think something that I would be remiss if I didn't speak to, the most important and privileged and wonderful quality at Seymour School is our staff. We have amazing, caring, dedicated teachers and paraprofessionals and custodians and office staff and volunteers, and it's just that is what makes a school a school. So we have fabulous new building, we have amazing technology, we have resources that allow for us to teach to new curriculum design and 21st century skills. But without the relationship between the teaching staff and the students and the families, that wouldn't really take us very far. So, at Seymour School over the last couple of years, we have I have challenged my staff to really implement a growth mindset. And we studied the work of Carol Dweck, and we understand that we have a choice between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And so we decided that that was what was best for our students, a growth mindset. Help them see that they can continually learn and achieve at higher levels than maybe they once thought. And my staff has embraced that as well for their own learning. Because being a teacher today is hard work. And there are so many new endeavors. And so I am immensely proud of who they are as people and as professionals. And I feel very good having my own children and the children of this community, in their classrooms. I think that's really pretty amazing.
That's wonderful. And I know that part of that growth mindset and all the efforts to engage the students in terms of understanding their community, not just the learning community, but the broader community, is important to you. So talk a little bit for a few minutes about, how does R.D. Seymour School engage and support our local community?
Well, that's a core of Seymour's values, is that collaboration with the community. That was long-standing tradition before I stepped foot in Seymour. But what we've been able to do in recent years is make it personal, and we've created a context where there's meaning behind that. So, for example, our students, through the leadership of the Student Council, have done quite a bit of fundraising. But we made some conscious efforts last year to say, let's not just fundraise, but let's really learn and get to know about the particular organization that we're helping. So locally, with the food bank, and we worked together to do a food drive and coat drives and things like that I think are pretty typical.
And soda tabs for Shriners.
Tabs
right?
for Shriners
Yeah,
Institute, all sorts of philanthropic ideas. And, really they come from the students. They have a personal experience. I had a group of kids come to me last year. They wanted to save the sharks. Really, whatever it might be. We want to give value to what matters to them. We don't go with every idea, but we talk it through. What are the challenges and why does that matter? And so Seymour has really become a place where community members come in to share their expertise with us, whether that's during Career Day or Junior Achievements Day, or whether it's veterans coming in. We have leaders of different organizations have come to our whole school morning meetings. We had someone from Youth Services come and talk with children because of an interest that they had. And so constantly accessing those resources that are in our community, because we are small, but we are rich with resources and many very giving individuals. So that's been wonderful. Similarly, our students are giving out. So with those different projects that I was just speaking of, and this fall we were recognized by My Sister's Place in Hartford, and this is an amazing little story. Students, because of something they had seen online, learned about Socktober, and it was the opportunity to raise socks, actual socks, new socks, for children that may not otherwise have them. And we fundraised socks, and then we needed a place to give them. So we went to My Sister's Place in Hartford, which provides services for women and children. To make a long story short, Mr. Dunbar from the organization came out and met with our kids, and we established a relationship. He told my students, we need diapers. Diapers is the hardest thing. So we raised over 3,000 diapers, and we were recognized with the Allison Chase Ward, which was really
That's
something
fantastic.
pretty amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's a wonderful achievement for a small school, but it demonstrates that they have big hearts and they're very community minded, and they just understand that the world is not as big as it is, and that they can have a part in helping to make the world a better place.
Very empowering.
And that's a very strong message from young children to all of us, to say that we need to care about others in our community. So, Seymour is in itself a learning community, but also it does embrace the community in which it exists, and that's great. Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful school, and wonderful children, very talented children, and faculty and staff, and just everybody is working very hard at R.D. Seymour School.
We're very proud.
I bet you are. I bet you are. So this is Dr. Christine Mahoney, Superintendent of the East Granby Public Schools, and we've come to the end of this third edition of Your Schools. We hope you enjoy this segment and that you will join us again for our next segment that will feature Carl D. Allgrove School. Thank you and have a good evening.